Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, dear students and viewers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, my topic is Fayol'S Principles of Management for the 12th class commerce students. Henry Fayol, he laid down the 14 principles of management, which we will discuss later on. What are those 14 principles? First of all, let us go to the history of Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol is also known as the father of modern management. He was born in Istanbul in 1841. At the age of 19, he began working as an engineer at a large mining company in France. He eventually became the director at a time when mining company employed more than 1,000 people. Then later on in 1916, 2 years before he stepped down as director, he published 14 principles of management in the book titled as Administration Industrielle et Générale. Administration Industrially et Générale. This is the famous book of Henry Fayol. He also created a list of 6 primary functions of management, outstanding work in the field of management. That is why he is called the father of modern management. So he laid down the 14 principles of modern management, which are as under: number 1, division of work; number 2, line of authority and responsibility; number 3, discipline; number 4, unity of command; number 5, unity of direction; number 6, subordination of individual interest to general interest; number 7, remuneration; number 8, centralization; number 9, scalar chain; number 10, order; 11, equity; 12, stability of tenure of personnel; 13, initiative; and last, that is esprit de corps. Now let us discuss them in brief. Number 1 point, the principle laid down by Henry Fayol is division of work. I have depicted here a diagram. If you will zoom your camera, it will show you the authority and responsibility, how the division of work is maintained and how it is performed by the workers. This diagram will show you, elaborate you the division of work. Number 1 point, division of work. According to this principle, Henry Fayol says, when employees are specialized in particular field, output can increase because they become increasingly skilled and efficient in their respective fields. Line of authority and responsibility. According to this principle, managers must have the authority to give orders, but they must also keep in mind that with authority there comes a responsibility. Number 3, that is discipline. Discipline plays a main important part in organization. According to this principle, discipline must be upheld in organization, but methods for doing so can vary. Then we have unity of command. According to this principle, Henry Fayol says that employees should have only one direct supervisor. They should not be often or misguided by another supervisors or etc. There should be only one supervisor so that confusion may not occur. Then we have unity of direction. Teams with same objective should be working under the direction of one manager. Using one plan, this will ensure that action is properly coordinated. So we have discussed division of work, line of authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, and unity of direction. Now we are going to discuss subordination of individual interest to to general interest. Now we will discuss subordination of individual interest to general interest. According to this principle, the Henry Fayol says, the interest of one employee should not be allowed to become more important than those of the group. This includes managers. This was subordination of individual interest to general interest. Later on, we will discuss about its advantages and limitations. Then we have another point, that is remuneration. Employees' satisfaction depends on fair remuneration for every employee. This includes financial and non-financial compensation. They shall be encouraged with financial remuneration often done once they perform their duty judiciously. Then we have another point, that is centralization. This principle refers to how close employees are to the decision-making process. It is important for an appropriate balance. Now, another point is, that is scalar chain. According to this principle, every employee should be aware where they stand in the organization, hierarchy, or chain of command. Suppose this is O is an organization and it has two lines of authority. These are two lines of authority, number 1 and number 2. In this authority line of authority, it has A, B, C, D and E workers. And in this line of authority, it has P, Q, R, S and T. Suppose if D wants to meet S, then what he has to do? According to the scalar chain, he has to pass first C, then he has to pass B, then he has to pass A, then P, then Q, then R, and then S. Then he can communicate with S. That is called a scalar chain. Now there emerges a point that is called a gangplank. What is gangplank? Suppose if E wants to meet T, he wants to communicate with the T, then in these emergencies, that is why he has to directly communicate with the T. That is called gangplank in SOS manners, in SOS matters, in emergencies. This is called the gangplank. So this was a demographic expression about the scalar chain. Now we have order. As you say, employees should be aware where they stand in the organization, hierarchy or chain or command. The workplace facilities must be clean, tidy and safe for employees. Everything should have its own place. This was the order. So we have discussed division of work, we have discussed line of authority, responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interest, general interest, remuneration, centralization, scalar chain, and this. Now we will discuss what is equity. Equity. Managers should be fair to staff at all times, both maintaining discipline as necessary and acting with the kindness where appropriate. Stability of tenure of personnel. Managers should strive to minimize employees' turnover. Personnel planning should be in priority. Then we have initiative. Employees should be given the necessary level of freedom to create and carry out its plan. Then esprit de corps. It simply means we have to maintain discipline, that is, organization should strive to promote team spirit and unity. Then it will lead to the progress, and then there will be no chaos and confusion. So this was a brief discussion about this Fayol'S principles of management, which he laid down in his book. Inshallah, and next chapter we will discuss about the advantages and limitations of these 14 principles. Till then, Khuda Hafiz. Thank you.